Tonight on Comicstorian, we're going to be covering Old Man Logan, Scarlet Samurai. It's the new overall arc that is happening in Old Man Logan, and it's covering the return of an old villain. Or friend. But today's video is brought to you by 4Hims, a men's wellness brand that brings you hair products, skin products, and sexual wellness products. If you're wondering how I keep my hair looking so amazing and full of volume, that's from 4Hims. And if you're wondering how Logan keeps himself smelling so amazing that all of the women want to be with him, that's from 4Hims. Order now. My listeners get a trial month of Hims for just $5 today, right now while supplies last. See the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or a pharmacy. Go to 4hims.com/complete. That's FORHIMS.com/complete. 4hims.com/complete. Don't forget to enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the ending. In our last video, Logan came face to face with the Hulk gang that he thought he killed and left in the wastelands. The group was led by the Maestro, an alternate version of Bruce Banner, who wanted nothing more than to wipe humankind out, leaving the Hulks to survive. With the help of Cambria, a Hulk who saw past Maestro's lies, Logan fought Maestro to the ultimate showdown, with Logan barely walking away with his life. As he walked down the busy streets of Tokyo, he thinks to himself how he never thought he'd miss a place like this. Open roads, the solitude of the woods, those are the places where Logan can relax. But there's something that he's been missing here. Probably just noise. Logan stops by a bar to get a drink, and as he opens the door, there's a man standing in the front window outside. A group of thugs follow the man out, yelling that this is Crazy Thunder territory. If he's gonna be drinking here, he's gonna be paying for their drinks as well. The man tries to get away from the thug wielding a bat, but Logan tells the thug, "Hey, I've had a rough week. How about we let this guy go and I'll grab a round for everyone?" The thug takes the bat, cracking it across Logan's head, telling him, "Step up!" And soon the other thugs jump in to beat down Logan. Back in the day, Logan would heal from these sorts of attacks in minutes, but now he's going to be aching for days. As the claws come out, he swipes, taking off one of the man's fingers and another's hand. One moves, grabbing a knife and stabbing it into Logan's side, but he spins back, slicing off his arm from the elbow. The man screams and starts to laugh as another arm grows out, replacing what was just missing. He then says, "You're in for it now, Yankee!" And Logan sighs, telling him, "I'm Canadian." After cutting the man's arm off again, he pulls out the claws and punches the man out, telling him that he's just gonna need a new way to take these clowns down. The last thug standing begins to back away, and Logan tells him that just because he can't cut off their limbs doesn't mean that he can't knock them the hell out. The thug says it's all cool, we're just having some fun, we won't bother you again. Logan grabs the thug by the collar, telling him that he knows the three of them ain't mutants or humans. The odds of them having the same power is too great. What the hell is going on? Meanwhile, over at the Ishida Corporation, Dr. Tuco gets ready to head home for the night, and once the lab is clear, he takes 3 vials, hiding them in his coat. Later, as he walks out to his car, before he can get in, Shingen Harada stops him, telling him that he's working late as ever. The problem is that he's been stealing from the company. Tuco shouts back, telling him, "I would never do such a thing." There must be a misunderstanding, and Shingen holds out his phone, showing a video of Tuco stealing, telling him that it's all right here. How is this a misunderstanding? Tuco falls to his knees, telling him that he was forced to. He can't do anything or he'll be killed. Shingen then shows an image of Tuco's wife and child, telling him that if he doesn't tell them, he'll send his men to his crappy apartment, and they'll be the new test subjects. Soon, the Silver Samurai suit begins to appear around Shingen, and he grabs Tuco by the throat, telling him, "Tick-tock." Tuco dangles over the ledge of the parking garage, and he shouts that it was Kenji from the Crazy Thunder Clan. "Please don't kill me!" Before he could finish, Shingen lets go and watches Tuco's body go slamming into the sideway below. Later, over in a warehouse, Kenji tells his men to hurry up and get everything ready for their next shipment. Tuco was supposed to be here 3 hours ago with the Regenics. The boat to Madripoor is about to leave, and there needs to be at least 10,000 vials shipped. Suddenly, Kenji hears something, and Logan walks in, throwing the guard stationed outside onto the floor. Kenji tells him, "You get lost, old man?" And Logan tells him that he ran into some of his boys earlier. The drugs that they were on shouldn't be in the hands of a bunch of drenched wannabes. But by the looks of things, it doesn't seem like you'd have the brains to come up with all of this on your own. So tell me where the drugs are coming from. Kenji calls out to the Crazy Thunders, and within seconds, they swarm around Logan. He pops out his claws, and he begins to hack away at the men, but as the fight goes on, he notices some of the men aren't regenerating their limbs. The only difference from before is the air is cooler, which would make one believe that cold air slows down the regeneration process. Once the last of the thugs are taken out, Logan grabs Kenji, holding his fist to his chin, telling him, "You have 10 seconds, where did it come from?" As Logan counts to 1, Kenji spits into Logan's face, and 2 of the outer claws shoot to the sides of his head. He tells him, "That's 2. You don't want to see 3. Kenji shouts, "Fine!" Regenics comes from some stiff named Tuco. He works in some unknown lab. All we know is where he lives. And back in the Yoshida Corporation building, Shingen sits in his office when he notices a red ninja run along the outside of his window. He puts his phone down sighing, and then he suits up into the Silver Samurai telling him that he was supposed to have dinner with a Swedish supermodel in 20 minutes. The hand ninjas break through the window and Shingen gets to work carving his way through the horde. While he fights, he notices a man watching and he tells Gorgon that if he's hoping to stone him with his gaze, he's got some bad news for him. Gorgon keeps his arms folded and states that the hand has tried multiple times to unify with Clan Yoshida. Each instance he refused. This is what he may call a hostile takeover. Shingen cuts down more of the ninja, stating that he's got a thing for this. Initiates sequence HA4372. Suddenly lasers begin to shoot out, shredding the ninja where they stand. And Shingen laughs, stating that that's just one of over 5,000 defensive protocols. Shingen readies himself before Gorgon, and he asks, "So this is where we fight, right?" And Gorgon tells him that he will do no such thing. He's already lost. Before Shingen can respond, he's struck from behind, and a female samurai pushes a sword through Shingen's back. She tells him, "Let go of your life. Clan Yoshida is now in the capable hands of the Scarlet Samurai." As the time comes for Tuco's memorial service, people gather to pay their respects. People begin giving their condolences to Tuco's wife Asami, and among them is Logan. The two walk off, and Asami asks if he was a friend of her husband's. But Logan says no. He came to Tokyo to see him, but he knows this isn't a good time. He was hoping to ask her some questions regarding the matter. He has resources that may be able to find out who did this. Asami pauses for a moment and then tells him that they can talk, but not here. Meet her in the Paris bar later that evening. As Asami walks off, Logan walks by a grave marker and sees Mariko's name. He takes a long, hard look at that name, and then he moves on. Later that night, Logan heads to the bar that she told him about, and she thanks him for meeting with her. Logan cuts right to it, telling her that there's no easy way to say this, but her husband had a name for himself by selling Regenics on the black market. Asami says that she begged him not to do it, but he wouldn't listen. And Logan goes on telling her that he was stealing it from Shingen Harada. There's only one way that could have ended. What I need to know is about the drug. Who is he selling it to? She begins to cry, stating how Tuco was working at Regenics for years. It was supposed to be something good, but he got mixed up with the crazy Thunder Clan. And then when they found out what he was working on, they forced him to steal it from Harada. Logan asks how much of this stuff did he give them. If it spreads out too far, people get. But before he can finish, Logan notices people in the bar trying to run out, and a voice tells him, "Go ahead, finish that thought." Claws come out as Logan jumps up from the booth, and before him is Gorgon, the Scarlet Samurai, and a group of hand ninja. Logan then tells Asami to get out, but before she even has a chance, the ninja hand grab her, and Logan shouts to leave her out of this. As he steps forward, the Scarlet Samurai pulls out her sword, swinging, forcing Logan to step back. And Gorgon says that he can see it now. He's trying to figure out all the ways to save the widow, and allow him to say that she is already lost. Asami screams as one of the ninjas stab a sigh into her chest, but Logan lunges at Gorgon at the sound of it. Scarlet Samurai quickly then cuts into the side of Logan's body, knocking him down. But there's something that Logan smells, death and decay, years of it. Gorgon asks, "You smell it, right? What is it? I've been waiting years for this moment, now tell me, what is it that you smell?" Logan charges it again, thinking of cherry blossoms, and Gorgon tells him yes. What else? Next is rosewater, and Gorgon tells him to keep digging. The more things that Logan thinks of, the more he tries to push them out, only focusing on the fight with the hand and the Scarlet Samurai. The more that Logan cuts away at the men, he realizes that it's the same as those thugs before. They're regenerating. Claws aren't gonna help him out here. He punches into one of the men, and the Scarlet Samurai slashes upwards, cutting off one of Logan's hands. He grabs the nub where his hand used to be, thinking about how could she cut through adamantium like it was nothing. Who is this person? He turns and tries to escape, but before he can go anywhere, the Scarlet Samurai slashes down along his back, causing him to fall. Gorgon tells him that he thought that he would have recognized it by now. Elsewhere, in the trash, Shingen groans as he wakes up and suddenly falls off of the heap on the ground. He gets up shouting, "Garbage! Those honorless bastards threw me out with the garbage! Me!" Back in the bar, the Scarlet Samurai holds her sword up above Logan's head, and Gorgon tells her to take the helmet off first. In Logan's mind, he already knows who this is. He's going to kill Gorgon for what he's done. Logan says, "Please don't," and Gorgon asks, "What's the matter? Aren't you pleased to be reunited with your long-lost love?" Logan holds his arm up to shield himself, saying, "Mariko, don't." Mariko's sword charges up and she says Logan's name, slamming the sword down right beside Logan. Using the chance, he kicks her legs out from underneath her and he makes a break for the exit. Still missing his hand, he pushes his way through, using his left arm to cut anyone in his way. A woman stands in the path before him, but before the ninja could kill her, Logan grabs her and runs outside with her. After letting her go, he yells for her to just go. "They won't be coming after you, run!" Back inside, Mariko gets ready to make chase, and Gorgon stops her, telling her that clearly she's not capable of taking Logan down. She puts the helmet back on, telling him that she was merely caught off guard. A mistake that won't happen. But Gorgon stops her, telling her, no, you hesitated. I saw it. We brought you back, gave you life and purpose, and this is how you repay me? Just then, one of the ninja walked back into the bar, telling Gorgon that he's sorry, but they've lost Logan. In frustration, he breaks one of the tables and then turns back, telling the ninjas to go back out there and tear this town apart. Finding that mongrel, keep him alive. Later in the poor area of town, Logan sits in a corner, allowing time for his hand to regrow. As he sits there, a voice tells him that he looks like crap, and without saying a word, he takes his one good hand, popping the claws. Shingen sits down next to him, telling him, does it look like I'm in my silver samurai armor? I'm not here to fight. It looks like Gorgon had his way. Gorgon came after you. Logan asks, how did you find me? And Shingen says, Tokyo is my city. I have eyes and ears everywhere. It would seem that the hand have gotten a hold of Regenix. Shingen sighs and says, it was supposed to be something to make me richer than Tony Stark. Before, the hand only had one weakness, and that was their ability to throw soldiers at their problems. With Regenix, instead of using 1,000 soldiers, they can use 10. It was supposed to be secret until Tuco. Logan stops him, asking, the one you killed? And Shingen tells him, he was lying about it. It's him that we need to blame for everything that's happening right now. The hand brought back Mariko, and when they assume that I'm gone, she would have the birthright to claim the corporation. Logan then says, it's not just the hand who has it. There's already a shipment sent out to Madripoor for sale. Shingen grabs his head, yelling, crap! Regenix isn't ready! It breaks down on its host, eating away at their muscle tissue and eventually killing them. Could be days or weeks. Logan gets up, telling him, I know a way. You're gonna help me take down the hand, but you gotta promise me a few things. Stop making Regenix and financially take care of Tuco's kid, who's now an orphan thanks to all of this. And you do not kill Mariko. Later at the Yashida Corporation lab, Gorgon and Mariko talk when they hear a tink, tink, tink. They look over and see a canister of liquid nitrogen thrown into the room, and as Gorgon walks over to it, a shuriken is thrown into, releasing the nitrogen into the room, rapidly bringing down the temperature. Before anyone has a chance to respond, Logan rushes in, cutting down one of the ninja, and Shingen says that Gorgon put a scratch on his desk. Logan tells him, shut up! And Shingen asks, why? It's Bokat wood with vibranium inlay. And Logan says, this is why I work alone. Shingen jumps through a group of men, cutting them down, and yells at Gorgon, you came into my home. You killed me and you threw me into the trash. When I'm done with you, I will resurrect you and kill you again. Logan tears through another group and he runs towards Mariko, telling her that he knows that she's in there, and he knows it's hard to gain control, but she can do it. She swings her sword, pushing Logan away, stating nothing. She failed once before, but there won't be a second time. Logan yells, just think about the first time that we met. How I gave you a white flower. You have to fight this. On the other side of the room, Shingen chases down Gorgon, and Gorgon asks, how are you alive? We killed you. Shingen tells him that he has over 5,000 defense protocols. Literally being stabbed in the back was one of the first things that he planned for. There's no way that you can win. Gorgon turns and kicks out the window, and before he can jump out, he tells him, I can and I will. Next time. Back with Logan, Mariko cuts into his stomach, telling him he is nothing but a pathetic old man clinging to something that never was. Logan lays on the ground, telling her, you have no idea how true that is. I'm not here to kill you again. I've lived with that guilt for far too long. Mariko raises the sword, telling him, rest assured, he won't be carrying it much longer. But before she can strike, a sword is thrust into her back, and Shingen stands over her body, stating, you're welcome. Logan gets to his feet, checking on her, asking, what have you done? And Shingen tells him, oh please, did I not just save you from a murderous ex-girlfriend? Relax, she's still alive. There's no way in hell I would let any relative of mine die while under the hand's control. I gave her the same thing that saved my life. The wounds healed her before it was fatal. All thanks to a bunch of little nanites of my own design, though way too expensive to put on the market, a real shame. But now that I've released Mariko from their control, I figured that there's a favor in order. Logan picks up her body, asking, what is it? And Shingen tells him that he will take Mariko to Madripoor. Destroy what's left of the Regenix before the hand gets a hold of it, or worse, a competitor. This can go one of two ways. 1, the hand gets a hold of Regenix and people die. 2, people use it and die, destroying the company in the process. Or 3, we find the shipment, destroy it, and everyone lives happily ever after, and you and Mariko can ride off into the sunset. Either way, after that, I hope to never see any of you again. And there you have it, the return of Mariko, or however Benny pronounced it at the beginning of the video and then changed it up in the middle of the video because Benny can't pronounce anything that isn't really simple. Don't forget to check out the rest of the playlist for Old Man Logan in the link down below, where he fights against Maestro and gets thrown into the world of Marvel. And if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get more Wolverine, more Old Man Logan, more X-23, more of the Wolverine family because I love Wolverine and I wish I had claws that I could shove into a wall and then forget about. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Comicstorian, and if you want to support the series, then go check out forhims.com/complete. That will be showing your support for the Complete Story series and getting yourself some men wellness products for hair, skin, and sexual wellness. I'll see you next time right here, guys.